Happy Tuesday, everyone. We have a fun day of strength work ahead of you and a birthday. It's Barb's birthday today, so I hope you guys enjoying Barb. I hope this strength work just makes your day extra special because you're a super special individual and a very strong individual indeed. Now, our warm-up today is going to be a plank lean for 2 to down dog for 3 to 5 reps into a quad plank hold of 10 to 30 seconds, floor pike hold for 10 to 30 seconds, plank lean for 2 to bear squat for 3 to 5 reps, moving through that nice flow, and then you hit that for 1 to 2 rounds. So this is a nice chance to tackle that bear squat a little bit with some control in a very calm and kind of slowish kind of warm-up manner. So don't worry about having to bring it high intensity. This is a nice controlled way to take this down. From there, we're going to practice 3 movements in our work set today: a dumbbell shoulder press for 3 to 5, dumbbell pullover for 5 at 3 second eccentric, and a dumbbell tricep roll back for 3 at a 3 second eccentric. We're going to use this time to kind of hash out some of these movements, figure out some working weight, make sure we're happy with those 3, and it's really going to touch on the key muscles we need to wake up before we start our work set. Our work set today is going to be 3 to 5 rounds, dumbbell shoulder press for 6 at 3 second eccentric, so less reps. Now, if you don't have weight light enough to do a shoulder press, you can do a push press to get those dumbbells moving. If you also have a barbell that you'd like to use today for the shoulder press, you're more than welcome to do that, but we're keeping it to a strict shoulder press if we can. Once you're done your 6 reps, you're going to do 1 round of a dumbbell bicep curl to Arnold Press for 12 reps with a 3 second eccentric from the overhead to the shoulder, not the curl, so just from overhead to the shoulder. And then a dumbbell pullover for 12 for 3 second eccentric, and then dumbbell tricep roll back for 12 for 3 second eccentric. So it's going to be a pretty heavy arm day. It's going to get a good pump going with this work set, and I hope you guys enjoy it. Remember, this is an upper body focused work set today, so please take advantage of some rest after this work set. Give yourself at least 2 minutes of rest before tackling that next round. In that rest, you can just sit, relax, chill, breathe. You can do some light movement that's going to allow your shoulders to recover, but don't do anything too intensive. Let's warm you up. Let's get you ready. Let's have some fun today. All right, let's get those feet under the hips. We'll take the arms big and tall up overhead. Just going to give ourselves a little shrug. We're going to pull the shoulders back down. We're going to take it all the way to the floor. We're going to touch our toes. We're going to walk up those shins. We'll come back down, framing the foot. We'll step it back into our lizard. We're going to take that inside hand all the way to the sky, bending at the elbow. We're going to reach straight ahead, trying to line up the bicep of the ear, and then pull back, and then reach straight ahead, and then pull back, and straight ahead, and pull back. We're going to reach up. We're going to rotate, forearm coming down. We'll come back up to the sky. We'll plant the hand. We're going to step back into our down dog as we reach those hips nice and high. We're going to come back into that plank, stepping the other foot up. Inside hand is going to reach back up to the ceiling, bending at the 90. We're going to reach straight ahead. We're going to pull back, reach straight ahead, and pull back, and straight ahead, and pull back. Reach it up. We'll rotate, forearm on the floor, come back up to the sky, plant the hand, and step back into the down dog. Reaching those hips nice and high. We're going to walk our heels out a little bit. Nice and gentle. Feeling up those feet. Making sure things feel pretty good. We'll come back into our plank, pressing the floor away as we tiptoe those feet all the way up. We're going to roll ourselves all the way up. Big tall stretch. Little reach. Little reach. Come down. Let's get ourselves ready to go. So, pause the video, take this down if you have any extra little warm-up stuff you'd like to take down, some band work, some more lower body, upper body stuff. We're going to come back at you with some nice upper body warm-up to get you ready for our shoulder day today. All right, everyone, let's start off our day today with a plank lean to down dog. So I'm going to get myself set up in my plank lean position. So I'm setting up in my plank, hands just outside the shoulders. I'm going to press the floor away, pull the ribs in, and I'm going to lean to the left, keeping those arms nice and straight. And I'm going to lean to the right, keeping those arms nice and straight. Back to center, and then pull
back into that down dog. So in this down dog, I'm really reaching through those hips, pushing through those shoulders, so I get that nice locked out overhead position, and then I come back into that nice active plank position. So we want to make sure before we shift into those leans that that activation is there, my core is engaged, my shoulders are nice and set, and I'm nice and strong through that movement set. So take your time with these. These are really handy just to kind of feel out your upper body, really start waking up your hips as well in that down dog. So take your time moving through these 3 to 5 reps. From our next movement, we come into our tabletop. Our hands will be under the shoulders, our knees will be underneath the hips. I'm gonna pull the ribs in, push the shoulders up a little bit, and then I'm gonna lift those knees an inch off the floor, holding that position nice and strong. I'm actively pushing the floor away, my knees are off the floor a little bit, and I'm pulling everything kind of inwards. Now with that quad plank, I'm trying to stay as level and flat with my hips and shoulders as I can. We're not trying to necessarily go into a big cat back. We're just trying to activate the shoulders a bit and maintain that nice level position. You're gonna hold that position anywhere from 10 to 30 seconds, remembering to come out of it if you feel your core, feel your shoulders disengage, and just start to get a little lax. So bank that good engaged time the whole time. Now our next flow is our floor pike hold. So we're gonna come back to our table. We're gonna bring our knees together, our toes together as they curl under. I'm gonna push the floor away, again with my arms, pull my ribs in. I'm gonna push my legs nice and straight. Shoulders stay over the hands. And I'm gonna keep loading those shoulders, loading those hands as I maintain that nice pike position. Now with this, we're trying to keep the shoulders over the hands, not in front of or behind. We're trying to stay nice and stacked over top. So if you need to tiptoe your feet in a little bit, you can, but we're trying to stay nice and stacked over top of the body. So give those toes a little push forward, opposed to sitting back in your heels. Bring those heels forward a little bit. Our last movement set is very similar to our first one. It's a plank lean for 2 to bear squat. So our feet are actually going to be a little wider, so we'll go hip to squat stance. I push the floor away, I lean. This will be a little bit easier to balance with the wider feet. And I lean, and then I push my hips back as I press my arms into the floor, getting that nice open upper back position, and then come forward into my plank. So it's very similar to down dog, except my hips stay low towards my heels, opposed to going towards the sky. Now with this position, it's super important that we have our armpits facing towards the floor and that I have a neck, so I'm nice and active the entire time. So really, really focus on that good, strong positioning throughout that bear plank and only take it to where your shoulders can maintain good position. As a quick recap, we have a plank lean for 2 to down dog, quad plank 10 to 30 seconds, floor pike hold 10 to 30 seconds, and then plank lean to bear squat for 3 to 5 reps as well. 1 to 2 rounds of that just to get some heat generated, some good shoulder stability work in there, and then we're gonna practice a few movements you're gonna see in your workout. All right, we're coming at you with a little practice work set to get you ready for your workout today. Your work set today is gonna consist of some shoulder press. We're gonna practice that right now. Also, some pullovers and a lovely tricep roll back. I love that exercise. So now, for our shoulder press, what we're gonna do is I have 2 dumbbells. You can do this with 2, you can do this with 1, you can do it with a bar, whatever you need to do. Regardless of that, the mechanics and the positioning is basically the same. My feet are under the hips, my elbows are in that nice front rack position that I'm gonna use to press. So I'm not crazy high, but I'm not low either. And I'm getting myself nice and stable in this shoulder press position. I'm gonna brace through the midsection. I'm gonna press those arms straight up into that good overhead position, keeping those ribs in, and then pull the dumbbells or barbell back to the rack position. Now from here, our goal is to get those arms slightly behind the ears, if we can, or at least in line with the ears, with those elbows nice and locked out. Now this is a great exercise, that shoulder position for that strength, but if you struggle with getting that elbow locked out, maybe think about doing a single dumbbell, and that'll allow for a little bit more leeway when it comes to getting that elbow locked out for that good overhead position. So there's nothing wrong with doing a single arm shoulder press for strength, right? Especially if it means that elbow is going to get locked out just a little bit more.
If you're doing a single, you'll do 6 per side, and then you'll move on to the work set that's coming next. From here, we're gonna do a dumbbell roll, a pullover. So I'm gonna lay on my back for the next 2 exercises as well. I'm gonna take my feet flat, like I'm gonna do a bridge. My ribs are gonna be pulled in so there's contact with the floor. My elbows are soft, but pointing out, but my arms are pretty straight. And then I'm gonna slowly take that dumbbell down, overhead. I'm moving from the shoulder girdle, not the elbow. So I'm moving from the shoulder girdle, so the entire arm is moving into that pullover. Now if the dumbbell hanging down gives you not enough range and you feel comfortable to go deeper, we can turn those hands and turn that dumbbell so we hold it by both bells, and then we have a little bit more range to take that dumbbell down into that nice overhead position. So it's up to you in terms of how comfortably you want to go in terms of that range of motion. Regardless of the range, the motion is the same. We're keeping the arms basically straight, just with a slight give in the elbow to maintain good position. Now last but not least, we have a dumbbell roll back. So what we get to do with this is one of my favorites. My ribs are in, my feet are set like I'm gonna do a bridge or a floor press, because I'm gonna do a floor press to get the dumbbells up. So I press them up, they stay parallel to each other. I'm gonna bring the dumbbell to my shoulder, keeping my elbows straight up towards the ceiling. The dumbbells touch the shoulder. I bring the top portion of the dumbbell head to the floor, and then I extend my arms in one smooth motion. So the dumbbells come straight down, dumbbell to shoulder, dumbbell to floor, extend. Dumbbell to shoulder, elbows stay up, dumbbells to floor, extend. So the key thing we're looking at here, if I had single arm, I'm going to use this to point. It's almost like I'm blocking this elbow so that it doesn't move anywhere. So I just kind of collapse at the elbow as the dumbbell comes to the shoulder, and then the dumbbell, or the elbow, sorry, can come away as I lower that dumbbell to the floor. And then I extend back to that nice position. As I lower the dumbbell to the floor though, the dumbbell that's on my shoulder is going to stay in contact with the shoulder. So we're not moving it away from my body. It's staying tight, just lowering straight down and then extending. So the tempo and the cadence of this will be 3, 2, down to the shoulder, and then 1 to the floor, extend. 3, 2 to the shoulder, 1 to the floor, extend. So that's where that eccentric is going to come in terms of setting up that tricep roll back. I love this exercise. It might not feel like a lot when you're doing it, but it's a little spicy and it might show up the next day or 2. So be prepared, stay light with this one. Make sure you can get that nice smooth extension and that smooth straightening of the arm again when we get to the end of that movement. As a quick recap, we have a shoulder press of 3 to 5. If again we have a heavier dumbbell that we're not quite comfortable with for shoulder pressing, we can use the push press in place of the shoulder press. Dumbbell pullover for 5 reps, 3-second eccentric, and then we have our tricep roll back of 3 at 3 seconds. Now all 3 of these exercises can have different loads for them, so please keep that in mind. It's a beautiful thing. Use it, have fun with it, and give yourself the loading according to the movement. Pause the video, practice those up. We're going to come back with one more movement we haven't touched on yet, and then turn you loose on the work set. Alright, you guys, we got our work set coming at you. 3 to 5 rounds, depending on how much volume you'd like. 6 dumbbell shoulder press or barbell shoulder press, or 6 per side with a single dumbbell, with a 3-second eccentric. So regardless of what apparatus you're using, you'll always have that 3-second lower back to the rack position. Now with the push press option, if you don't have a light enough dumbbell to shoulder press, you will do that lovely push press and still have that 3-second eccentric down to the floor, or down to the shoulder. Once we're done our 6 reps, we'll move into our work set, which is our bicep curl to Arnold press. So I'm going to deadlift my light dumbbells up to my hips. I can keep the dumbbells parallel to each other on the side of my body, or I can come to the front. It's up to you, whatever's more important or more comfortable. From here, I'm going to curl the dumbbells to my shoulders, so the palms face my shoulders. And then I'm going to press and rotate, so my dumbbells and my palms face forward. Then I'm going to pull the dumbbells back down, my palms come back and face face my shoulder, and then I lower back down with control. So I curl, palm face back, press, palm face forward. Come back to the shoulder, palm face back, lower, palm face forward. Now I can also go from the hammer position, same idea, the only difference is I'll rotate a little bit on the curl, press, come back down, and then rotate back down. So either variation works for me when it comes to that curl, hammer position, or that bicep curl, that traditional bicep curl variation. I'm good with either one, whatever one you want to work on or feels best for you. The bicep curl one can be a little bit heavy on the bicep, a little bit more so on that lowering down, so that hammer position sometimes feels a little nicer on the elbow and with the bicep. So just listen to your body and use which one that's going to feel the best for you today. Now that's not a heavy movement. We want to make sure if we're using a dumbbell or some different loading that we are making sure our body is still the entire time we do that curl, and we're not putting any extra momentum or a little hinge into it to get some speed on the dumbbell. We just want it to be a strict curl into that press overhead and good control on the way back down. We have 12 reps of those at 3-second eccentrics. The eccentric will be from here to the shoulder and then smooth down. So overhead to shoulder will be a 3-second eccentric. The down to the bottom of the curl will be a nice smooth lower. Dumbbell pullover, we covered that in our previous work set. We're going to hit 12 though, instead of our previous 5 in our warm-ups. We're going to do 12 reps with a 3-second lower. That can be pretty heavy depending on your comfort level with that. So play with some different loading there if you'd like. Then we have our dumbbell tricep roll back of 12 at a 3-second eccentric. We talked about that eccentric earlier on. And again, you could have 4 different loads for these movements if you really wanted to, depending on your comfort with these movements. So play around with them, see what's going to feel the best for you. My suggestion would maybe do a couple practice rounds with half reps, just to make sure you're comfortable with your loading for your accessory work and comfortable with the dumbbell shoulder press loading. I hope you guys have fun with this work set. It's a nice kind of slower pace after yesterday. Tomorrow we're going to ramp things back up again, and we got a really fun workout on Thursday, cool little body flow, so I hope you guys enjoy. But happy birthday, Barb. I hope you have a special day because you are a very special person in our community. It's amazing watching you work and just the support you show everyone. It's an amazing piece. So you're great. Thank you so much for that. Now everyone, have fun, work for quality, enjoy this work set. We will see you